they tell you to mind the gap when you board a train. My identity is trafficked in cognitive gaps. I implore the spaces between colored hands, lofty minds, and sexualized bodies, people and rivers and hills I've never learned. I want to bridge the chasm between art that stretches forward like a baby's begging hands and action that shadows the diaspora I barely know. I want to bridge the chasm between theory justified by simple maps and distant knowledge picked up by scavenging hands, searching for sustainment in communities reduced to commodities. My mind fused the temporal bridges between my people and I before the links had time to solidify. The gap of movement. I've learned to come prepared to scoldings. I have words ready to topple her over, words meant to strike at the heart. Everyone else's parents aren't as strict. Everyone else's parents aren't you, she hears, aren't Asian. Everyone else is allowed to do what they want. When my mother frowns, lips snapping shut, my lips click in unison. We walk away together, stronger, a mutual model silence. Maganda ka. Her inhale would begin to take space for herself, and I see it coming. I see the rabbit hole and I dodge and reflect. I didn't want to be your Filipina beauty queen, wear the plastic contest crowns and be praised for my mestiza skin. I hated the idea of being singled out, being handed the burden of representation of a people I had only known by parasiting their culture, because all I had been taught here, after all, was to take and not to give. They treated my parents like children, even as they were the ones whose grubby hands could do nothing more than scribble us out. The non-existent gap between my thighs. My blame spears with certainty, skewers the culture my stomach couldn't ingest. Couldn't ingest because it was already bursting. I was bursting with dreams of attending the Ivy Leagues, of becoming upper class, of striking out on my own for once without my parents' old-fashioned ideals weighing me down. I got mouthfuls of pancit and adobo and rice, and instead of digesting, I spit insults back at them that had been burning in my stomach.
Ooh.
Rice again? So much sugar. So Filipino. You never notice the gaps you create, the institutions in the words you hear behind your back. Dirty, poor, uneducated, Filipina. There are businesses in those words. They make companies out of people and skew their lives like analyses. They alter my eyes so I only see sandbags on a tilting scale. 2 bags for the Filipina, 1 for the American. The sand spills all over me, and I'm ashamed that I've become another beach whose merit is measured by how easily others can trample on it. 1 bag for the Filipina, 2 for the American. My friends stop calling me their little Asian, and I can breathe a little easier. 1 bag for the Filipina, 3 for the American. I am no longer afraid to say my words, because I am no longer speaking out of turn. My family did not speak Tagalog around the house. Classmates reduced me to lumpia, Tagalog, and long black hair. I did not hear the silences between the recalibrations, the way they took our words and exchanged them for terms of capitalism. You are a minority. You will work as a cashier. You will be lower class. But also, we need workers who will stay silent. They told me one thing over and over again all my life. One thing they said, you need to be put together, wealthy, college educated, American. I didn't hear the stipulations between their words. Put together, look like us, wealthy, trickle-down theory, college educated, money you don't have, American. My parents heard the same thing their entire lives. They have carried the burden, filling their mouths with words mangled in translation, words that bleed in their mouths. Put together, wealthy, college educated, American. They have sacrificed their lives, taken up second jobs to get a foot up in the system, to give me a foot up in the system, to mire themselves so much further into the system. They didn't know they have flattened their tongues, let themselves become silenced because they have been tricked into reducing their entire lexicon to these 4 words. Put together, wealthy, college-educated, American. Now I'm here. Now I'm put together, for the most part. I'm at a school that could make me rich. I'm at an Ivy League. But I have not become an American model myth. I have found a branch of the diaspora. I have found others who travel with me through the turmoil of college, of life, of being overwhelmed, of being unsatisfied. I am no longer disconnected, but it's more than race that binds us together. It's more than the color of our skin, than the contrived contest they put us up to give us scraps to fight over. As I board the next train, I hear the voice in my head, mind the gap. But they cannot manufacture their exodus inside of me.